It is an absolutely beautiful, a stunning day today. 80 degrees here in Palm Desert, California on this beautiful March 1st, 2024. I hope all of you are doing absolutely fantastic. I feel blessed to be alive today. It's a beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky. The fairways are green. The pool looks beautiful today. Absolutely gorgeous. Birds are chirping. The flowers are blooming. Fantastic. And as I sit here today, you know, if you were watching any of the financial channels today, if you were watching the markets today, you would think everything is just absolutely fine and dandy. Here we are back in this euphoria. You know, I'm watching all the people golf today, living off their pensions. Nobody has a care in the world. Everything is fine. There is no danger. There are no threats. You have to be a very negative person to even question what is going on. You would be a doom and gloomer. You're just absolutely a pathetic human being to even question the narrative. Everything's fine. Everything rallies on first day of March after Fed hints at next QE. This on the hedge today. Never mind that ISM manufacturing has been in contraction for 15 straight months. Construction spending unexpectedly declined. First month-over-month drop since December of 2022. University of Michigan confidence declined and inflation expectations ticked up. None of this matters, ladies and gentlemen. It does not matter. What does matter is what somebody like the Fed Governor Christopher Walker said today. He hinted at more QE, and the markets ate it up. The markets continue to ignore the layoffs. The markets ignore inflation. The markets are ignoring your job losses. They don't care if you lost a job. They don't care if you have to work 3 jobs. The markets continue to ignore this. The markets, what they do care about are what people like Fed Governor Christopher Walker is saying. The markets care about quantitative easing. The markets care about rate cuts. That's it. They don't care about the U.S. national debt rising $1 trillion every 100 days. Am I making that up? No, it's right here on CNBC. This article just came out this morning. The U.S. national debt is rising by $1 trillion every 100 days. Somebody please answer me this. How is this not inflationary? We have an absolute disaster on our hands right now while the markets hope for a rate cut and more QE. Hope, and more hope. More artificial injections, more QE. Let's just drop rates back to 0 and hold them there for the next 10 years, and that will fix all of our problems. It's going to be great for wealthy people. It's not going to be great for you. It's not going to be great for me. It's not going to be great for the middle class. It's not going to be great for poor people. It'll be great only for a very, very small group of people at the very top if they do this. I don't know. I don't see how it's going to happen, but the markets seem to hope that it is going to happen. But think about this, $1 trillion of debt every 100 days. Imagine the inflation that is coming. If you're not preparing for inflation, ladies and gentlemen, I think you're making a big, big mistake. Anybody telling us, friends, family, anybody on the television telling us that inflation is going to go away or inflation is going back to 2%, they're flat out lying to you, or they just don't understand what's going on. U.S. crude tops $80 for the first time since November. It's sitting a little bit under 80 right now, but we did break $80 today. Now remember, everything that you buy, everything on those store shelves is shipped by boat, train, truck, and plane. And it all takes oil, ladies and gentlemen. How is this not going to be inflationary as we see now a barrel of oil at $80 a barrel? And look, I truly believe that this summer, it is more than likely we're going to see a barrel of oil between $90 and $100. Does that shock anybody? How is that not inflationary? How in the world is Jerome Powell and the Fed going to cut rates? I have no idea. Maybe they'll just tell us that there's no inflation, and they say it enough, maybe people will believe it. Gold advances to 2-month peak as U.S. rate cuts expected soon. This is going to be great for gold. I don't want to see it happen. I hold a decent amount of gold. It's going to go up. It's continuing to go up. We're almost, really, literally, might as well say we're at all-time highs right now. We're at $2,092 for an ounce of gold, up $36 today. We did break 40 at one point, but gold is literally at the all-time high yet again because it sees problems. It sees danger ahead. And I hope that everybody has been putting some gold and some silver away. Again, I don't give financial advice. I'm never going to tell somebody you have to do this, you have to do that, you should be doing this, doing that. Do what your heart desires. This is what I'm telling my family, my friends, my circle to do. This is what they're already doing. And I hope that you have some of this stuff. And I will advise people to get this because I know it will never be worth zero. It's never been worth zero. 5,000-year history, this asset has never gone to zero. You will never lose all of your money in gold or silver because it has never gone to zero. So gold and silver will always have value. I advise that if you don't have some, that you have a little bit. Be as diversified as possible. If you need a good place, just go to my link down below, SD Bullion. Been dealing with them for 6 years plus now. Fantastic company, reliable. Great customer service and quick with getting your gold. In fact, I just got some more gold the other day. And I'm just going to put it away. It doesn't do any tricks. It doesn't entertain me. It gets put away in a location, and I don't even think about it. I don't care if it goes up or it goes down. It is literally wealth, life insurance, ladies and gentlemen, that if the wheels fall off this thing, which they're going to do, you better have a backup plan. You better have real money. And I'm sorry, I just don't buy into the digital money way of things because I don't feel it's safe. It's very vulnerable. Grid attacks, cyber attacks, power outages, the theft. I just cannot protect my wealth with a digital currency, digital asset, whatever these things are. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. Me right now, I look at where we're at, that you go back to simplicity, you buy real things that you can hold, you can touch, and that you can get to in an emergency, whether the power's working or it's not, whether your computer is working, whether you can turn it on or off, it functions, it doesn't matter. Gold and silver will always be there. I think this is a great time to buy something really cheap like silver, constitutional silver, your junk silver. I think that this is the type of things people should be buying on top of security, on top of food, on top of water, on top of gear, all the way down to a good pair of boots, a good pair of shoes, to a good flashlight, to a good knife, to a good tool to protect yourself with. And of course, skill sets and training go a long way. So invest in yourself. But I'm going to continue to do this because I don't believe they're telling us how bad things really are. They're giving us little hints. We'll see Christopher Wray come out and say, hey, there's a lot of red flags out there. Our grid is very vulnerable. There's a lot of bad people walking around. There's a lot of things going on. We're getting a lot of reports. We're getting a lot of calls. We know that, certain individuals have made it into the country. They have bad intentions. So, look, it's nice to go watch a basketball game or a baseball game, and that's wonderful. But, as an adult man, I don't have time to watch other adults playing games. The problem with, I think, a lot of people is, they complain they don't have any money. I can't buy any silver. I can't buy any gold. I can't buy any training. I can't buy skills. I can't, I can't buy a good pair of shoes. I can't buy security. Why? Because you're spending all your money going to baseball games. You're spending all your money going to the movies. You're spending your money going out to Las Vegas. You're spending your money going to bars on Friday and Saturday nights. You're spending your money going out to eat. If you're spending $8 on a coffee, maybe if you cut all this stuff out and all the stupid entertainment, maybe you could afford to own some real assets. Maybe you could afford to go get a weekend of training. Maybe you could afford to put that extra emergency food away. There's too many excuses out there, ladies and gentlemen, and people got to stop making excuses. Get off the couch and look, there's no excuse why you're not getting in shape right now. There's no excuse why you're not on the mats training in jiu-jitsu right now or in boxing. There's no excuses. CrossFit is wonderful, throwing up kettlebells, that's all wonderful, but you need skills. You need skills right now. You need to know how to fight. You need to know how to defend yourself, your family. You should be at the range working on that security. There's so much that should be going on. You don't need to be at baseball games and football games, basketball games and movies. That's not where you need to be. You need to be training right now. Here's another one from The Hedge today. 10 reasons why the Fed won't cut rates. Economy is not slowing. GDP in 2024 is revised higher. Why is that? Well, of course, government spending. And look, I don't agree with all of this, but this is the data that Jerome Powell and the Fed is going to use, and this is what they're looking at. Underlying measures of trend inflation are moving higher. 3, supercore inflation, a measure of inflation preferred by Fed Chair Jerome Powell, is trading higher. 4, labor market remains tight. Jobless claims are very low, of course, because people are working 2 and 3 jobs. More small businesses are planning to raise selling prices. Of course, they have to because their labor costs are exploding. Manufacturing surveys show a higher trend in prices paid. 7, ISM services paid is also trending higher. More small businesses are planning to raise worker compensation. 9, asking rents are higher and more cities are seeing rising rents and home prices. 10, financial conditions continue to ease following the Fed pivot in December. Strong non-farm payrolls. And again, I don't agree with a lot of this because we know it's all manipulated data, but the Fed is using this. They're going to look at this. And by going with this data, there is no way on God's earth they're going to be able to justify cutting rates. Now, if they do cut rates, I'll be very curious to see how they're going to justify it. Of course they can cut rates. They can cut them tomorrow. And they can say for whatever reason they're cutting rates. But on these 10 reasons right here, it is going to be a very, very difficult avenue for Jerome Powell and the Fed to come out and say that we're cutting rates. In fact, there's even people out there saying that they may even have to raise rates. And they should. They should be raising rates aggressively right now. The only way most people watching this video are ever going to be able to buy a house is if this market crashes. And the Fed should be raising rates. They should collapse the housing market, collapse the stock market. It's the best thing for the middle class. It's the best thing for the poor. That top 10% will survive, but we've got to get prices back to reality. We are so overpriced in stocks and bonds and real estate that nobody knows really what the true value of any of these assets really are. So we need a crash to sort it all out and let the markets decide where prices should be. But we know prices are completely in outer space right now because nobody can afford to buy a house. We're watching a housing collapse, a commercial real estate collapse take place right now, and we're watching a collapse in the U.S. economy in the middle class. Wall Street is worried about New York City commercial banks' loan losses and deposit levels as stock sinks below $4. Here's another big problem being ignored today on the markets because we have all this market euphoria. Everything's fine. Retail investors should just be jumping in and buying up as much of this. You should go buy a house, go buy a car, go overpay for all of this stuff. Don't worry about the debt that you're taking on. Just buy. Just consume, and acquire more and more debt. Recent quarterly earnings for this bank were lower by $2.4 billion. Shares plunged today, down 25% to a 50-week low. Just looked a little while ago, $3.55 a share. Investors fear that the commercial real estate and shortfalls of the bank just reported, they should fear it because we are not out of the woods as far as bank failures goes. We're going to see more banks fail, especially regional banks. And here we are with another one right here. And nobody said a word about it today as I was watching some of these commercial channels. Some are now questioning the stability of New York City commercial banks' deposits. Wow. Last month, the bank had $83 billion in deposit money. No update on what the deposit amount is right now. Is it 83? Is it 73? Is it 43? Is it 103? Nobody knows, and they're not telling us. So I don't know. If I had money in New York Community Bank, I think I would probably get it out of there because they may be in trouble. And now here's another indicator of something brewing. Walton sell $1.5 billion in Walmart stock amid short split record high. $1.5 billion. They did that last week over the weekend. And you see Bezos, Zuckerberg, Buffett, all of these people, Jamie Dimon, selling stock. What do they know? What are they getting ready for? But of course, everybody's telling you, the retail investor, to go in and buy up this overpriced stock market. This stock market is so overpriced, the melt up we are watching, and just people just think it's going to go up forever. We have not had even a recession, technically, for what, 14 years, 15 years? I think we've been in a recession for quite a while right now, but they have not technically said that we're in a recession, but I think most of us would agree we're in a very serious recession right now. By the time they admit that we're in a recession, we'll be in a full-blown depression. But why are all these heavy hitters selling so much of their company stock? Why are they loading up the war chest of cash? Are they seeing something down the road happening here? Are they getting ready for huge purchases? Are they getting ready to take advantage of some massive sales? What do they know? What do they know? Why are the central banks buying up so much gold? So, you know, you see central banks buying record amounts of gold, and then you see these billionaires selling massive amounts of company stock, going to cash. What in the world are they gearing up for? I mean, it's anybody's guess. I certainly don't have a crystal ball. But I'm just trying to connect the dots like all of you, and I think the writing is on the wall. They know something big is coming, and they'd rather be out early than late. So, I mean, I would agree. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you rather be out 6, 7, 8 months early, a year early, than a minute too late? I think that we're going to really see some things unfold here in 2024. As far as the job losses we have already seen, it's unbelievable. It's record-breaking. As far as the crime and the violence that we're seeing, it's record-breaking. The uncertainty that we see, not just here in America, but around the world, is just unlike anything we've ever seen. It's literally biblical. So we are no doubt on this first day of March in uncharted water. Tons of political uncertainty, financial uncertainty. People are hurting, no doubt. I advise that you take this weekend, get in better shape, hit the mats, take care of those preps, get to the store, you know, go get some extra cans of food, some water, buy some emergency food, check, make sure you have extra batteries for the flashlights, extra propane, charcoal, wood, whatever you need. You know, check your gear. Make sure that it's functioning. Make sure if you're missing something or if you're weak in some department that you built that weak link up. And everybody knows that, hey, I'm not too good here, I'm not too good there. Take care of it now. Take care of it now. Everybody now should have at least 6 to 12 months food. You should be working on 6 to 12 months cash reserves. Get the debts paid off as fast as you can, or as manageable as you can. Stuff's really, really important, ladies and gentlemen. Big ticket items, I would be holding off. You know, personally, most of you know, I'm trying to move, and it will happen at some point. But as all of you know, I don't buy anything in a bubble. Certainly not a house. And I'm with a lot of people where we're just going to sit on the sidelines with cash and just wait. And hopefully, at some point, a nice deal comes along. But why would anybody overpay for a house right now with everything that's happening in this economy, what's happening politically, geopolitically? It's, to me, one of the worst times to buy a house, to buy a big ticket item. This is the time right now to stack cash, stack gold, stack silver. And look, Bitcoin is doing phenomenal. I'm going to give props where props are deserved. And look, be as diversified as you can. I'm just not a gambler, sorry. At this point in life, with everything I see happening, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. I have to own real things, because I know as quickly as something can go up, like a digital currency, it can go down 10 times faster. I hope it doesn't. I hope everybody out there that's in it makes money. But be careful, because they can pull the plug on anything very, very fast. So I think some of the most important things you want to be holding right now are real assets and real skills. Know how to take care of yourself, know how to protect your family, know how to hunker down with food and water, know how to do things. And I'm going to leave it there today. Have a great weekend. Be safe. So much happening. I cannot believe how much has already happened this year in 2024, and we're just getting started. Be careful out there. Have a great weekend. keep preparing, stay on track. God bless every one of you. And as always, I look forward to speaking to each and every one of you very, very soon. Like, share, and subscribe.